Welcome to the Spot Kingdom, and today we jump into World of Baldurs Gate 3 to find out what is the feats and how to use them, why to use them, when to use them, what feats to use, and what is new feats in Baldurs Gate 3 when it's released. In early access, when you reach in level 4, you gain access to the feats feature. But honestly, most useful is actually just ability improvement. This feat will allow you to use 2 ability points to increase your stats. But there is an option to swap feat. And this unlocks access to a lot of feats that you can pick and increase power of your character or how you actually play it, how you can roleplay him, just how you fight, and other abilities. However, most of them useless below level 5, and most players just go for feat that increases your ability score. While you can pick some feats that will increase your fun of playing the game, for example skills that increase your proficiency in some skills, most of the time these feats just useless or not powerful enough. So why even bother to pick feat? There is a simple answer. Feat will still increase one of your stats, and most of characters will have only one important stun, like dexterity for example, and most of feats will increase this ability score anyway, but alongside you will get extra benefits from this, and this will furthermore enhance an ability to have fun and play the game in most interesting way possible. And I got great news for you. In Baldurs Gate 3 max level will be 12, this means you will have 3 available feats to choose from. And Larian Studios showed us the new feats coming in the release of Baldurs Gate 3, and these feats are awesome. So this game is based on D&D 5e edition. So now I will explain you what every new feat will do in the Baldurs Gate 3 based on the player handbook from D&D 5e. And we start in alphabetic order with an actor. Skilled at mimicry and dramatics, you gain the following benefits. Increase your charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20. You have an advantage on charisma, deception, and charisma performance checks when trying to pass yourself as a different person. And you can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures. You must have heard the person speaking or heard the creature make the sound for at least 1 minute. A successful wisdom check contested by your charisma check allows a listener to determine that the effect is faked. Okay, so this one is actually insane and sounds amazing. Every charisma-based character that wanted to play a lot of role-playing game with a lot of perception, deception stuff, fooling people around, it's insane. If you actually will be able in Baldur's Gate 3 to mimic speech of other person or just other creatures. This can unlock just limitless possibilities. For example, just imagine this. You heard sound of old bear, for example, old bear, yeah. And you face old bear somewhere in the middle of nowhere, just, on some waterfall, beautiful waterfall, just old bear comes to you and you starting to speak in old bear speech. So you're going to face the wisdom of old bear contested by your charisma. And maybe if you win the dice roll, old bear become your friend. Or if you lose this dice check, maybe old bear will try to eat you and your party. And this is just a little what you can do with an actor, because I guess limitless possibilities in Baldur's Gate City with a lot of NPC. So if Larian will implement this will be insane feat. And guys, don't forget to comment what is your favorite feat from this video. I want to know it, so go into comment section, comment after you watch this video, and I will check out and reply to all the comments I possibly can. So next feat is Alert. Always on the lookout for danger. You gain the following benefit. You can't be surprised while you are conscious. You gain a +5 bonus to initiative, and other creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls against you as a result of being unseen by you. So this is actually a funny feat. Many mobs in Baldur's Gate 3 early access already tried to ambush you, so sometimes you got disadvantage, and this will always give you a lot of initiative anyway. So initiative is actually a very powerful feature, because initiative determines who attack first in the fight. So no matter what and how attack and fight started, with you being surprised or not, you will have this initiative bonus. And I guess most powerful part of this feat is actually this initiative feature. but I guess there will be a lot of encounters. Based on the last panel from Hell, there are more than 300 encounters, maybe. So I guess at least 50 encounters will be from creatures attacking you, not you being like a sneaky guy. Sounds fun and really useful feature. Next one is Charger. So when you use your action to dash, you can use a bonus action to make one melee weapon attack or to shove a creature. So basically you gain in one action as bonus action. If you move at least 10 feet in a straight line immediately before taking this action, you either gain +5 bonus to the attack's damage roll. This is insane. If you choose to make a melee attack and hit, or push the target up to 10 feet away from you, if you choose to shove. So, I don't know, but there's a lot of debate going on. Either shove should be action or bonus action in Baldur's Gate 3. For my opinion, it's pretty balanced, and if you don't like shove, just don't use it. But I guess most debate comes that mobs will use shove to shove you every turn because it's bonus action. But for me, it's okay. But this feat is actually very funny. Many melee classes uses dash to enter the combat. And you will use dash a lot, I guess. So when you're using dash, you gain +5 bonus to the attack damage roll. And this is insane. This is just a really crazy bonus. And this is a lot of attack, so there possibly will be a lot of classes that will benefit from movement speed. Right now it's not too powerful, but having other feats that increase your movement speed and with this feat can make some crazy classes like a Barbarian who not jumping all over the place, but who charging all over the place, making like a lot of reckless attacks with +5 bonus. Sounds fun, sounds cool, awesome feat actually, I like it. Crossbow Expert. So this was missed by most of the players to make crossbow builds. So thanks to extensive practice with the crossbow, you gain following benefits. You ignore the loading quality of crossbows with which you are proficient. Being within 5 feet of a hostile creature doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged attack rolls. This is big. When you use attack action and attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with a hand crossbow you are holding. Basically, what does this feat doing? So, you ignore the loading quality of crossbows with which you are proficient. This doesn't do too much, it's just totally okay. But being within 5 feet of hostile creature doesn't impose disadvantage on your range attack rolls, means that you will hit with the crossbow like melee weapon. And when you play in some dexterity characters, you can play some like vampire hunter, with blade in one hand and hand crossbow in another hand. And this will mean you can attack with main weapon that doing pretty nice damage, and then you can use bonus action. You can attack with a hand crossbow that's already doing insane damage too. And most of the time it's considered like a main weapon, not like a sub-weapon. And even if you're just in melee range, you will still inflict full damage, and you always inflict full damage, but you will still hit without disadvantage from your being closer to the target. For those of you who don't know, disadvantage means you roll 2 dice. So this will dramatically decrease chances of you hitting your enemy, because you roll 2 dice and pick the lowest one. So attacking with a bow, crossbow, other ranged weapons, and even with spells from the melee range is not an option actually, it's a very bad option. And this will just cover this. So awesome and cool future. Next feat, Dungeon Delver. So, alert to the hidden traps and secret doors found in many dungeons. You gain the following benefits. You have advantage on wisdom and intelligence checks made to detect presence of secret doors. You have advantage on saving throws made to avoid or resist traps. And you have resistance to damage dealt by traps. Traveling at a fast pace doesn't impose the normal -5 penalty on your passive wisdom score. So basically, this will improve your checks and other stuff when you're going into dungeons. When I played Early Access, I wasn't, and I just decided not to do it 100% and explore everything. Still, I did 3 playthroughs with different characters, with different styles, and it's just insane, awesome game. But I encountered maybe like 2 dungeons that requires a lot of these perception checks. So this means a lot. This feat means a lot. This is big, because if they add in this feat, this means on, I guess, second act and maybe third act of Baldur's Gate 3, we will have a lot of dungeons. And dungeons is cool. Come on, guys, who don't like dungeons? Everyone loves dungeons. And this means that we will have a lot of dungeons with a lot of traps and other secret stuff, a lot of gear hiding in them. It's just insane. It's just a pretty basic feat. I don't like this feat, but this tells a lot that they making a lot of dungeons, I guess. Durable. Hardly and Resilent, you gain the following benefits. Increase your constitution score by 1 to a maximum of 20, and when you roll a hit die, you regain hit points. The minimum number of hit points you regain from the roll equals twice your constitution modifier, minimum of 2. So this can help to some tanky frontline classes that can self-heal, like some, I guess, Barbarian can self-heal, Fighters can self-heal, Paladins can self-heal. But Paladins roll dice is not hit dice, they roll in for spells to regain their health, so basically it's mostly for fighters. This make self-sufficient classes that can roll hit dice to regain health, and if I'm not mistaken, druids can do this too, especially in bear form. This will be useful. You will regain more health, because this require, most of the time it will require your action to regain some health, so losing action to just regain 1 health, it's not too good. It doesn't feel really great. But a high constitution character can actually regain a lot of with this feat. Can be useful in some builds, not my favorite too. So next feat coming is Elemental Adept. That is prerequisite. You need the ability to cast at least 1 spell, so you can't pick this feat when you play in fighter without like Eldritch Knight subclass, for example. When you gain this feat, choose one of the following damage types: Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Thunder. Spells you cast ignore resistance to damage of the chosen type. In addition, when you roll damage for your spell cast that deals damage of the type, you can treat anyone on damage die as a 2. You can select this feat multiple times. Each time you do so, you must choose a different damage type. So when you go in to play some mage type character that doing acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, if you will specialize in some spells, if you just like more cold spells, then you can choose this feat. And this feat will increase damage you're doing pretty much. So, for example, Sorcerer that doing fireball spell, like just some fire spell, and you got this feat with fire future, and you're doing, for example, twin spell magic, meta magic. When you cast 2 spells, you're going to make 2 fireballs, and you strike with 2 fireballs, and if you roll 1 on damage die, you will treat it as 2. And most of the high-level spells will roll like maybe 5 dice to determine your damage, and this makes your damage from like minimum 5 to minimum 10. This is insane, actually, damage output, and this will make your damage more stable, and more stable to the higher values. This is a cool feature for some, elemental mages that doing damage with some damage type, if you really like some types of spells. Heavy Armor Master. So, this requires proficiency with heavy armor. You can use your armor to deflect strikes that would kill others. You gain the following benefits: increase your strength by 1, and while you are wearing heavy armor, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that you take from non-magical attacks is reduced by 3. So this is just tanky feat. Reducing the damage from non-magical attacks is insane. So basically, any goblin and other melee classes will inflict just, laughable amounts of damage to you, while you still, I guess, having a large con. And this feat increases your strength by 1. So this is tanky feat, but for some fighter classes that going to the melee range, not to just taunt enemies and do other stuff, but to go and fight, because strange means you inflict more damage. Just pretty weird trait, feat. But cool feature, I guess, is that you can use your armor to deflect strikes that would kill others. So basically you can still stay in melee range with someone, maybe with a roach from your party, and your roach got killed by some big robot, and you will deflect the strike. It won't kill your roach friend. Next feat, lucky. You have inexplicable luck that seems to kick in at just right moment. You have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend 1 of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. You choose which of d20s is used to attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. So basically you will have 3 luck points that you can use to have advantage on any roll. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you. Roll a d20 and then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. And this one is for defense. If more than one creature spends a luck point to influence the outcome of a roll, the points cancel each other out. No additional dice are rolled. You regain your expended luck points when you finish a long rest. So, every time you use your long rest, you will have 3 luck points, basically 3 times you can use additional dice to have advantage on any feature you want. And this is very cool, because first of all, you can use it to have good outcomes from your roles in dialogues, to have nice role-playing ability, to roleplay as you want and have outcomes that you want, good outcome. But having advantage on attack rolls is actually insane, because if you not use it, you can miss this attack. And defensive part is also nice, because you can use it when someone attacking you, and basically if they attack, they should make attack, but you roll and they miss. It's just insane and funny. But this feat is pretty good to make really nice lucky character. Next feat is Mage Slayer. So you have practiced techniques in melee combat against spellcasters, gaining the following benefits. When a creature within 5 feet of you casts a spell, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature. When you damage a creature that is concentrating on a spell, that creature has disadvantage on saving throw. It makes to maintain its concentration. You have advantage on saving throw against spell cast by creatures within 5 feet of you. So this basically means that this feat is for melee combatants, so if you're melee character, you can use this feat, and you will fear mages a lot less. First of all, you can easily break concentration spells, and second of all, you will have nice ability counter-attack, reaction when someone trying to use a spell. You just can react to it and counter-attack. It can be useful when you're fighting with some mage on some high area, maybe some really high mountain, and this mage, when you come to him nearby, want to use some Thunder Wave to shove you away from this mountain. You use your reaction to just knock him out with your awesome weapon. Okay, Medium Armor Master. This requires proficiency with medium armor, and you have practiced moving in medium armor to gain the following benefits. Wearing medium armor doesn't impose disadvantage on your dexterity checks, mainly on stealth checks, of course. And when you wear medium armor, you can add 3 rather than 2 to your AC if you have a dexterity of 16 or higher. This feat is nice when you're playing some roach classes, for example, that most of the time wear light armor. So you can have just higher armor class and you want to have disadvantage on stealth checks. Observant. Quick to notice details of your environment. You gain the following benefits. Increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. If you can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. You have a +5 bonus to your passive wisdom and passive intelligence scores. So you will have nice perception, nice investigation, and you can understand from far away what's actually going on. So how this feature will work in Baldurs Gate 3, I don't know exactly, but it could be fun for role-playing, of course. It's increasing some wisdom checks, but how it will play out, I don't know. It depends on how AI will play out. So, for example, when you go into some caves, maybe you see some bandits who speaking with each other. Right now, in Baldurs Gate 3, when you in such a situation, you will from far away already hear what's going on. But I guess they will need to lessen this amount of area that you can actually hear someone. And if you want to hear what's going on, you need to go max close by, closer, a lot of closer than you need to go now. Because right now you just spawn in an area and you already got chat from every creature in this area that's talking right now. And it's just a mess. But maybe they will tone down this radius that you need to be when you want, so you can hear someone, and this radius will be kind of same where they can see you. But with this feature, you can maybe hide and hear from a long distance what someone's saying, and use this to your advantage to determine, do you want to attack from sneaky position, this is like bad guys, or maybe you hear that this is nice guys and you can just safely go in and talk with them. Next one is Performer. So you master performance, so you can command any stage. You gain the following benefits: you increase your charisma by 1, you gain proficiency in the performance skill. If you're already proficient in the skill, you add double your proficiency bonus to checks you make with it. While performing, you can try to distract one humanoid you can see who can see and hear you. Make a charisma check contested by humanoid's wisdom check. If your check succeeds, you grab the humanoid's attention enough that it makes wisdom and intelligence checks with disadvantage until you stop performing. Again, mostly like Feats to have some nice role playing, and this one is to go and distract someone. So maybe you see some humanoid, again some bandits in some cave, so you come near them, you making some performance, and if they not want to attack you, they just chilling in the cave, you making this check, so they will be distracted by you, and your party can maybe advance really nicely through the area and attack from better angle. It could be nice role-playing, and maybe set up a feat for Bard or other charismatic classes, maybe Performer Warlock. Nice class should be Warlock Performer, yeah. And next feat you all been waiting for: Polearm Master. This feat is basically base of every melee damage class built in D&D 5e. Just everyone likes to start with Polearm Master. You gain following benefits. When you take attack action and attack with only a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff or spear, you can use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of the weapon. This attack uses the same ability modifier as primary attack. The weapon's damage die for this attack is a d4, and it deals bludgeoning damage. While you are wielding glaive, halberd, pike, quarterstaff or spear, other creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they enter the reach you have with that weapon. So this feat got two parts in it. First of all, if you gaining additional attack, basically it's like Polearm Strike, but additional Polearm Strike, and this do a lot of damage. But second part is also insane. So when you're wearing this glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, someone going in your melee range, so when you're fighting some melee fighters, everyone who come into you, they provoke opportunity attack. So not when they trying to leave your range, but when they come into you. And as you know, halberd, spikes, this is high range weapons. Not ranged weapons, but they got higher range than just basic swords. So with this feat, you can stay in some areas where you actually defending a lot of area, and melee enemies can't come through you. So they need to pass. They need to basically kill you before they can go through you to attack your other range class. Imagine again, you standing in a cave, and there's tiny pass. So you just stand with the halberd, and all roaches that on the other side of the cave can't go through you without taking 2 hits that you're not using any ability points. So they coming into range, you make one attack, they coming out of range, you making one attack, and they probably dead. So your range party would be in the safe place. And next feat is Resilent. Choose one ability score, you gain the following benefits: increase chosen ability score by 1, so basically any ability score, and you gain proficiency in saving throws using the chosen ability. So pretty nice feat if you want some saving throws, maybe your class don't have saving throw proficiency in like Constitution, and Constitution is really important start to have proficiency with, so you just go with this feat and you have proficiency. Could be very useful for some sorcerers, maybe clerics and other guys. Next one is Ritual Caster, and this one is big too. So prerequisite is intelligence or wisdom of 13 or higher. You have learned a number of spells that you can cast as rituals. These spells are written in a ritual book, which you must have in hand while casting one of them. When you choose this feat, you acquire a ritual book holding 2 first-level spells of your choice. Choose one of the following classes: Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. You must choose your spells from that class spell list, and the spells you must choose have ritual tag. The class you choose also must have the ritual tag. The class you choose also determines your spellcasting ability for these spells: Charisma for Bards, Sorcerer or Warlock, Wisdom for Cleric or Druid, or Intelligence for Wizard. If you come across a spell in written form, such as Magical Spell Scroll or Wizard Spell Book, you might be able to add it to your ritual book. The spell must be on the spell list of your class of your chosen, and the spell level can be no higher than half of your level, and it must have the ritual tag. The process of copying the spell into ritual book takes 2 hours. I guess it's mostly for D&D. So this big because right now there's no rituals in Baldur's Gate 3. What is rituals? Rituals is spells that require multiple turns to finish. And it's like concentration spells, but these spells will just stop you from battling. So you start with, for example, ritual takes like 3 turns. So you start with ritual and you need to skip your next 2 turns, and then you will finish your ritual. But ritual spells do just insane amount of damage, insane amount of defense for your party, or just other stuff. So this means we will have a lot of rituals, and rituals from a lot of classes that we have on this list. Bard, Sorcerer, Warlock, Cleric, Druid, or Wizard. There will be ritual spells, and this is big, this is actually insane stuff. And this feat will allow you to cast any rituals that you want from other classes when you're not this class. So pretty funny and interesting feat. But I'm most excited that you will have these rituals in the game. Savage Attacker. Once per turn when you roll damage for a melee weapon attack, you can reroll the weapon's damage dice and use either total. This is a really nice feat. So if you're some melee damage class, you basically can have advantage on all your attacks. And this advantage goes into attacking dice, so damage dice, not chance to hit your enemy, but damage dice. It's how much damage you deal. And advantage on damage dealing abilities, on damage dealing attacks, it's really nice. It increases your damage potential just. So next feat is Sentinel. You have mastered techniques to take advantage of every drop in enemy's guard, gaining the following benefits. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. Creatures provoke opportunity attacks from you even if they take disengage action before leaving your reach. When a creature makes an attack against a target other than you, and the target doesn't have this feat, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature. Oh, how much rules. How to simplify this? So, you come to creature, this creature wants to disengage. When someone disengaging, they will provoke opportunity attack. When they disengaging without any abilities, just trying, okay, I just run away. No, this creature just say, I run away. So it provoke you to attack. And if you succeed this attack, you make speed of creature 0. So this makes this creature just unable to escape you, because when it's just trying to leave range, it just stays in the same place. Second part is the coolest part, because when you're disengaging, you're trying to use disengage action most of the time. You not want to take this opportunity attacks for free. So you just ignore this disengage action, and you always will do opportunity attacks. And when creature makes an attack against a target other than you, so when you stand in with this feat and some rogue from your party is standing somewhere nearby and he definitely don't have this feat, you just use opportunity attack to, revenge your party. Awesome feat could be nice, depending on how much melee enemies will be after Act 1. I guess pretty much, why not? Sharpshooter. You have mastered ranged weapons and can make shots that others find impossible. You gain following benefits. Attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged weapon attack. Your ranged weapon attack ignore half and 3/4 cover. Before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take -5 penalty to the attack roll. If that attack hits, you add +10 to the attack's damage. So, Sharpshooter is something like Great Weapon Master. So when you wield a great weapon, you have a disadvantage -5 penalty to attack rolls. So this means you will less likely to hit. But if you hit, you add +10 to the attack damage. And considering that max level is 12, +10 is actually insane, because you will do it most of the time. So basically it's a very nice feat for some range classes, but -5 penalty is a big penalty. Still, greatest part that you can choose it. So if you think that you have like 90% to hit your target, just go with this penalty, have like 70%, but +10 damage is insane. If you have 70% to hit your target, just don't go for this penalty and do normal damage. Insane feat for some range classes, like Ranger Rogue, just Ranger with a bow, maybe Fighter with a bow. There's a lot of Fighter bow builds. And next feat, Spell Sniper. So we got prerequisite, the ability to cast at least one spell, so you can't use it on classes without any spells. And you have learned techniques to enhance your attacks with certain kinds of spells, gaining the following benefits. When you cast a spell that requires you to make an attack roll, the spell range is doubled. Your ranged spell attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover, and you learn one cantrip that requires an attack roll. Choose the cantrip from Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock or Wizard spell list. Your spell casting ability for this cantrip depends on the spell list you choose from. Charisma for Bard, Sorcerer and Warlock, Wisdom for Cleric and Druid, or Intelligence for Wizard. So Spell Sniper gives you range to your spells that uses attack roll. For example, Eldritch Blast. Yeah, fun favorite. So with this feat, you can make your Warlock not only have Eldritch Evocation, but always sniping someone from 1 million range. Pretty insane stuff. So you can sit in the cover, stealthy sniper Warlock. I already see it. I guess I will make just video on this of this build. You just go full dex, full charisma Warlock. You just hide in the shadows with proficiency, with some proficiency and background as a chief. And you just go and snipe everyone with Eldritch Blasts from the shadows and cover in shadows again. Sounds pretty fun and can be used as solo build if you want to choose whole game. So still nice spell, nice feat. Yeah. Next feat is Taver Brawler. So accustomed to the rough and tumble fighting using whatever weapons happen to be at the hand, you gain the following benefits. Increase strength or con by 1, and you have proficient with improvised weapons. Your unarmed strikes using d4 for damage, and when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike or improvised weapon on your turn, you can use a bonus action to attempt to grapple the target. I don't know how they will implement this into the game, but this can be a really funny barbarian build that you go with improvised weapons, having d4 as damage die for melee strikes, and grapple target is interesting stuff, because grapple mechanic is just actual mechanic in 5e, but right now in Baldur's Gate we don't have any grapple mechanic. But let's see. We will see how this turned out. And I want to hear your opinion on this feat, actually. I don't know what to comment more. It's just interesting stuff. Could be really funny stuff, but we need to see how they will implement this. And Wordcaster, this require ability to cast at least one spell, and you have practiced casting spells in the midst of the combat, learning techniques that grant you following benefits. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws that you can make to maintain your concentration on a spell when you take damage. You can perform the somatic components of spells even when you have a weapon or shield in one or both hands. And when a hostile creature movement provokes an opportunity attack from you, you can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature rather than making an opportunity attack. The spell must have a casting time of one action and must target only that creature. So, it's fun. It's fun and it's interesting feat for some melee magic classes. So Eldritch Knight with some constitution spells, maybe with multi-classing that uses some constitution saving throws for concentration spells that increase maybe armor. I guess armor spells most of the time require constitution saving throws. And basically with this, Eldritch Knight can be a lot tankier, and you can use the opportunity attack from melee range with some spells. And again, it's awesome. It's awesome stuff. This is not all new feats that's come into the game, I guess. Maybe all. This was a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe, guys, for more RPG content. Baldurs Gate 3, a lot of Baldurs Gate 3 will be on release, after release, after release, and a lot more RPGs that's coming too, so subscribe. See you guys.